Hey, this is Kent Kingsley with My Medigap Consultant. Hope you're doing great today. I'm reaching out to you because we're getting ready to get into the annual enrollment period. This is sort of like the time for me that it is for a CPA. Very busy time frame, and they're putting on more and more restrictions this year on how we can communicate. So I wanted to go over some of that as well as some of the changes that we're seeing. In the drug plans this year, what the Inflation Reduction Act is and how that's having some impact on the drug plans that you are on, and just go over some of that information. So first and foremost, I wanted to talk about this new rule that Medicare has put into place for agents and brokers. It's called the 48-hour rule. And what it states now is that I have to have a completed scope of appointment from you no more than 48 hours before we talk about a drug plan. So in other words, I got to send you a scope of appointment, which we've done in the past. You fill it out. You're giving me permission to help you with a prescription drug plan. But then I can't talk to you about that drug plan for minimum 48 hours after that. It's crazy. You can thank Joe Namath, commercials that you've seen in the past, the J.J. Walkers, the foreign call centers. I mean, there's been so many complaints raised to Medicare over the past 12 to 24 months due to a lot of these bait and switch type commercials that you're seeing. So, a few bad apples that are out there is really causing a lot of extra stuff that's, in my opinion, unnecessary, but it is necessary to an extent because of some of the things that have gone on. But it's really going to be hurting, people like myself that I think I try to do things the right way. So that scope of appointment and then 48 hours later is really going to impact how you and I are going to be able to communicate this year if you needed me to help you do this. So as I've done in the past, I've had do-it-yourself type videos where I've got my plan finder tool and you can put in your medications and see which plan is going to cover your medications the best for the following year. So if you've done that in the past, you should be able to still use your username and password. If you're brand new to doing it, you'll create an account and put in those medications. And I'm going to have a video on my webpage that will walk you through that. It should just take you literally about 5 minutes to watch the video and then no more than 5 to 10 minutes to look at the drug plans just to see if you're on the right plan for next year already. Then you don't need to change it. If you need to change it, you can easily do an application right from there. And that way we avoid the scope of appointment and the 48-hour rule if you can do it yourself. Now, of course, if you cannot do it yourself and we have to talk, then we'll have to go through that 48-hour process. And I'll have some best practices, hopefully, for us to be able to get that accomplished. So with that said, I really wanted to talk about some of the changes that you have probably seen. You should have already received your annual notice of change from the insurance carrier for your drug plan for next year, and that lays out the differences between 2023 plans and 2024 plans. I know a lot of you have probably seen the monthly premium has doubled on some of these plans. Some plans have stayed the same, and some have actually went down for next year. But the general rule is most plans have gone up significantly on the drug plan premium, but not only the premium, but also the plan design. And this is all part of the carrier's reactions to the Inflation Reduction Act that was passed last year that's going to have an impact on the prescription drug plans. For some people, it's going to have a positive impact, and for others, a negative impact. And the ones that's having a positive impact are the ones that utilize a lot of the drug plans. They've got to take a lot of medications. People that don't take a lot of medications are probably going to may see an increase in prices. Maybe not this year, because if you look at the plans, there's going to be some that, people that take minimal medications, very affordable. But they are eliminating the catastrophic phase of a drug plan. I'm not going to get into how all a drug plan works, but the catastrophic phase is probably less than 10 or 15% of people ever get into catastrophic phase. I mean, you have to have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of medications to get there, but that's going to save some people that do have that some costs. And then starting in 2025, there will be a $2,000 maximum on what you can spend, what you would spend on prescriptions. So in other words, once you've had $2,000 in out-of-pocket drug costs, then you have 100% prescription coverage for the rest of the year. Some people will probably reach that, in a month or two, that have a lot of pricey medications. Others that might not reach that till month 8 or 9, and some people, obviously, if you don't take many medications, won't ever reach the 2,000. But as well as I know that when they shift prices on things or how things are covered for the better, somebody's going to pay for it. Unfortunately, I don't believe that's going to be the government nor the insurance carriers, so they're going to pass a lot of those costs on to the consumers, whether that's in the monthly premium or the plan design. So I've already talked about how some of the plans' premiums have increased, but not only that, one trend that I'm seeing on pretty much definitely all the lower priced drug plans. And when I say lower priced drug plans, probably $40 or less on the drug plans. We're seeing the copay go away for tiers 3 medications. Tier 4 medications have always had a co-insurance. Now we're seeing a co-insurance on tier 3 medications, which some of those can be $400 or $500 a month prescriptions. For instance, Eliquis and Xarelto are 2 very popular blood thinner medications that I know a lot of my clients have, and that's going to be a tier 3 on most plans. Whereas in the past, it might have had a $45 copay for it. Well, now it might be a 25% co-insurance. Well, I'm no mathematician, but I know that 25% of $600 is a lot more than $47 copay. So those are the types of shifts that you're going to see. And I would highly encourage you to reach out if you have any expensive medications. You might want to look into the Canadian Med Store. They're out of Florida. They don't carry every medication, but they do get brand drugs from Canada or from Canadian pharmacies. And, so you might be able to save some using the Canadian Med Store or any other Canadian pharmacy. But, I just have you do that on your own. I'm not affiliated with any of that at all. I just know some of my clients are getting some of their prescriptions where, we don't have a generic version for Eliquis here, but you can get that in Canada. Talk with your doctor for sure about that and make sure, that he doesn't have any concerns about that as well. So those are some things, and definitely always be cognizant of, drug prices through that you might be able to get from using a GoodRx coupon or singlecare.com. That can help offset some of the costs. Any of my Synthroid users, if you have to take the brand Synthroid, I've probably already told you about it, but you want to look at eaglepharmacy.com. They're the manufacturers of it. I think it's $75 for a 90-day supply. But those are just some of the things, again, I wanted to go over. The 48-hour rule, the trends that we're seeing in the prescription drug plans. Again, on the email that you got with this video, I'm going to have a link that will take you back to my website where I'm going to have the DIY video on reviewing your drug plan. I highly encourage you to do it. You only got 53 days to look at it. And so anyway, thank you so much again for being a valued client. And as always, let me know if you have any questions. Take care.